everyone. Welcome to Rise Camera Action. I'm your host, as always, Geoff Gaudet, with one of my good friends that I've met in Asia in the acting scene. Can you introduce yourself?
What's up, man? Good to see you. My name's Stefan. I'm from England. I'm here as a model and an actor.
Yeah.
And we've known each other for about 3 years, 3.5.
3 years, yeah. Like we met on a couple TV sets and whatnot. Our paths have diverged.
Yeah.
Because I look much older. You have I have about 15 years on you, right?
I think so. I also don't have the beard, so that makes me look a little younger.
Yeah. You got. Your skin looks all fresh.
Thanks, man.
So
I've been
fresh and so clean.
getting really into skincare recently. I just wear a ton of sunscreen, which I think kind of helps. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, not on a day like that. It's snowing outside, right? Today,
Yeah. But actually, even today, I've been recommended to wear sunscreen no matter what. Even if you're
really?
staying inside, sunscreen.
What?
Yeah, I don't know how accurate it is, but I do it anyway, just in case.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah, the snow today.
The snow today, but like when I first got to know you, you were like kind of the action, you have a background like in I've seen you do like parkour on your Instagram. First, what's your Instagram address?
Sure. My Instagram is stefan.soul.
Yeah.
Stefan with an F. And
Yeah.
Seoul, the city, not the spiritual.
Not like the
idea.
Holy Spirit. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, great. Yeah. So like normally, yeah, like what kind of stuff do you normally do with your acting and modeling recently?
So recently I've been doing mostly commercial acting,
Yes.
commercial modeling.
Yes.
But I'm pushing to do a lot more acting recently
Mm-hmm.
because it can get a little repetitive doing, fashion shoots and commercial shoots.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to kind of, dress up and do some acting, something a little more serious.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe some action movie would be
Yeah,
nice.
well, you get more known than just a face. Like I've seen you do some Samsung commercials and some LG commercials, and you're more, yeah. You don't really get to the opportunity to shine much, right?
Right. You get the opportunity to kind of walk around and look moody and, to hold a phone and act like you love the phone,
Yeah.
but you don't get the opportunity to do some acting,
Yeah.
to like...
Like you want to be seen for your personality, not just for your gorgeous looks.
That's just for the beautiful skin. Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, well, you're also pretty fit. Like you're very active. When I look at your Instagram, there's a lot of daily videos of you doing parkour or something like that.
Yeah, it's actually really similar to parkour. So parkour is kind of jumping around on the rooftops.
Yeah.
But what I do is called tricking.
Okay.
Which is like, it's a mixture of a lot of things. So there's some gymnastics, some capoeira, some taekwondo, some b-boy. It's kind of anything that you think looks good, you can do that. You can mix it into a combo and you develop your own style and
Okay.
yeah, it's very...
But yeah, when I first met you, no one believed it, but you're like, I could do a standing flip. And
Yeah. The amount of times in my life I've been asked to do a flip,
Yeah.
honestly, it would be in the hundreds of thousands of times, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But every time, you got to do it.
Yeah.
You got to do it or they don't believe you.
Yeah. Like, have you? Has it got you a lot of work?
I thought it would get me
Like
more
this
work than it actually has.
This tricking thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really good niche. So when it happens, I can say to them, that you're not going to find another guy to do this. You're going to pay me a little more, and also
Yeah.
it's dangerous. So
Yeah.
I could break an ankle. So
Right.
up the pay a little bit, please.
Yeah.
But it hasn't actually helped me as much as I thought it would.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like I have similar encounters with like agents and all that. They say, "Oh, can you do this?" I'm like, "Well, actually, I'm probably one of the better ones at this. So can you raise that fee?" But I've seen like people just there's the mentality of fake it till you make it. But if you have a certain niche, you can't really. No one can really compete with that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Like looking at me. Guess what my niche is this season?
It's got to be, I would guess, Santa Claus.
Yeah, it's Santa Claus, man. Like it's just I just get chubby. I love eating mom's touch
Mom's touch? Of course.
fried
I
chicken,
love
and
it.
then like KFC 1+1 after 9 p.m. I mean, when I go out, me and my friends are always drinking the beer. So I don't have the fittest body, and I have good genetics with the beer, and so that really works out for me.
For sure. You're bulking up for Santa season. I get it.
Yeah,
Growing the
but-
beard out. The beard is looking glorious.
Yeah,
It's
thank
very
you.
full.
Well, I'm probably in the new year just going to shave it off just so I have a clean slate and so I could reset my face.
Reset? Oh, I
Yeah.
like that. Are you
Yeah.
shaving it off out of choice or for a job?
I have actually I've been in contact with some companies and they want me to do like motion capture for video games and that. So I do have a more expressive face than other actors too, because like I focus on the comedy aspect, and
Yeah.
now I'm actually developing that kind of persona of the comedian, the jester. Last spring, I when I did shave, I did some facial motion capture for a character for the Bard. So like their inspiration was just all this Jack Black stuff.
All
So
right.
I had to copy Jack Black, and I felt very bad because his face is more expressive than mine, and I wasted the whole pandemic behind a mask and not practicing my eyebrow work.
Oh, damn. Well, you were competing with, one of the most expressive faces in the world. Surely he's
Yeah.
unbelievable energy to keep up with.
So it's so hard, but it's, yeah, like I think maybe I'm a 65, 70 Jack Black, because he also has the musical talent.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
I've never heard you sing though. Do you
I
sing?
don't sing with this nasally Canadian nose. No, nothing.
I don't know. People surprise you.
I do hit the nori bong, but there has to be a little bit of liquid courage for that.
A lot.
A lot of that. But I go all the spectrum, all different types of song. Like I go grunge. I throw a little Korean trot in there if I can.
Ooh, spicy.
Yeah, always Backstreet Boys.
I want it that way.
Yeah, I want it that way.
course.
Backstreet's back. But yeah, it's even I had another. There was a home shopping, and they wanted me to be Jack Black
Oh,
for that, and like I had to play the drums, which I don't know how to do.
fake it till you make it.
Fake it. Oh, it's just like.
That's-
So like, and then but then also they're like, they wanted me to do a Jack Black guitar riff,
Ooh.
and what they did was they rented a guitar. However, the company that rented it didn't give them a guitar strap or even a guitar pick.
Okay.
You didn't ask for it. You just rented a guitar, and they don't give a strap. So I had to do kind of like the rockabilly dance move, like holding the guitar, bouncing on one leg with one leg up, going dee dee. And I'm holding the whole weight of the guitar, which is probably about like 4 to 5 kilos in one hand, trying to keep it pressed. I cut my fingers up on the guitar strings.
Wow, that's pretty. I feel like
This is what I don't want to do. I don't want to fade in the background anymore, and so I do stand out. So, but to stand out, you also have to give some more effort.
You do, yeah. And I know what you mean. I'm kind of tired of the extras shoots. It's kind of annoying being in the background when someone else gets to be at the front.
Yes.
Kind of shining and doing something cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even like it's a little annoying too, because like you do have a reputation of if the more you stand out, the more they want to use you, right? But you're still getting the same pay as the people hiding in the back on their phones.
Right. That's
Yeah.
true. And then when you try and negotiate, it can get a little trickier for you. So
Yeah. It's like they're like, why didn't? Well, if you want to stand out, you have to bring it at the auditions. I'm like, well, all the people that this is a little inside baseball. All the people that get the roles for like on the movies and the dramas, they're not doing face-to-face auditions half the time. They're submitting videos in. So they're able to customize and practice, maybe to shoot something 12 times in the comfort of their own home, and then submit the best result that they like to the thing, and that's what they want. But if you're just going face to face, I feel now like they're just fishing for anything.
yeah, I think so. I prefer the video auditions a
Yeah.
huge amount. I've done a lot of them in my apartment, and I've
Yeah.
had a lot of complaints from my neighbors.
Yeah.
For when if you have to scream, you have to shout,
Right.
you have to do like fake out a fight scene.
Mhm.
I've had my neighbors come around a few times just to check
Yeah.
what was going on. Why was he screaming?
Yeah. Right now, like the face to face, I think for me, 10% I'll get the job, but when I do like the video at my home, it's probably I get maybe a 70% success.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
What's it like for you?
Ooh, I think it would be pretty low for both. Actually, I don't really get many movie roles these days. I think it would be 25% for both, but definitely a little more for the home auditions. Those are much easier because, like you said, you can edit it.
Yeah.
You can change the lighting and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's much less pressure because you're all alone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you go face to face. You're in and out within 5 minutes, but the video you're making in your home, you're spending at least an hour every time.
At least, and you're not all sweaty and nervous, so you look much better.
And as you're like trying to remember the lines, you could just go, oh, fuck, fuck. And like, oh, no, okay, NG, no good.
Cut.
Cut,
Hold the
yeah,
hands
yeah.
up to the camera so you know where to cut.
Yeah.
I was curious about did you audition for Carter? Because I saw you in Carter hanging from the ceiling upside down.
Yeah, I did. That one I had two videos. So, and even two companies contacted me with that same script. And what I did when I submitted one to one company, I did a horizontal filming. And then when I submitted it to another company, I did a vertical filming on my phone, so it had like kind of contrast.
Okay.
But like in the audition video, I did have my shirt off too, and I just had my hands over my head because it just said I was hanging. But in the movie, I thought I was like hanging from my feet, like a European torture chamber.
Right.
But when I get there, like, no, you're hanging upside down by your feet. And I'm like, oh, that's much more different than
really
I expected.
hard. I was curious if you had to hang upside down at home for your audition video. If you had to find a way to hang from your ceiling.
No. I just right before I started the camera, I held my hands over my head, so it looked like that. And then if I want, I guess even at the agent, could just flip it upside down the video if it's what they wanted.
That's much simpler.
Yeah.
But it was really cool to see you in that movie. I was watching with some friends, and straight away I was like, "Oh my! I know the naked upside down guy. That's crazy. Like, that's my boy. That's Geoff."
Well, it's I think 2022. It's the year of me getting naked as well. Because earlier this year, I filmed a commercial for to describe it. It's like a Zoom game meeting where you could meet strangers on this app. And you play drinking games.
And you got naked.
For this role, I was just in a bathtub with my bathing suit, but they just filmed me. Yeah, so I'm just like bare chest. My beard was just as fluffy as it is right now.
Mm-hmm. Wow, it's a comfortable shoot though.
Well,
I quite enjoy those ones where you get to take your shirt off.
Yeah, it was fun. Unfortunately, what happened. At that time, I was working with a company that we've parted ways, and I don't really care about their reputation. They ended up keeping a large percentage of that money.
Ooh, shady.
Yeah, it was very shady.
At least you got to take your shirt off for a shoot. That's fine. That makes up for it a little. You have a much better physique than me. I saw you had like a commercial, and they put like a bald cap. It was like black and white. Yeah, that was one of my. I think that's to date. That's my favorite thing that I've ever done in Korea. It was for one soju.
Okay.
Where they put a bald cap on me, and they spent 3 hours painting my whole body. Yeah. Painting it to look like a kind of Roman statue. Yeah. Was the idea, and then I was walking around this fantasy world and looking at all this beautiful CGI stuff. Yeah. And it was cool. It was a hard shoot. The whole day I couldn't touch anything because it's very sticky.
Like you had like white body paint because the commercial was like in black and white. Yeah, but you looked like the Da Vinci Man almost, like just bald. Right. But you're pretty ripped as well. So
I did a lot of push-ups right before the shoot. I got a good pump in the changing rooms before they painted me. Yeah. But it was hard I tried to get a quick pump during the shoot too, but they told me not to because the sweat was coming through the paint. Oh. And it was making me itch like crazy.
Was it white body paint?
It was, the pot that they were taking it from said clown paint. It was called Clown White. So I guess it's white face paint for clowns, which they use for my whole body. Okay.
Well, back in the day when I used to hang out with something called emo girls. Oh. And during the, the makeup that they got from the store, the white makeup wasn't strong enough to make him look pale like a vampire. So every year when Halloween came along, they were just grabbing tubes and tubes of white face paint makeup just so they could have a paler complexion.
Wow, that is so intense. I never saw an emo like that. I was an emo kid when I was younger, when I was maybe like 15, 16. Yeah. I never saw Clown White.
Oh, they would wear they're like the color scheme, just black, white, and red. But they would have inside their little like dead doll purse, the clown makeup, just so they can look more pale.
The dead doll purse.
Or paler. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember those, and the Nightmare Before Christmas purses too.
Everything with Jack Skellington.
Were you an emo too?
I kind of was I would go to in my 20s. like my friends that I was hanging out with were very gothic.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I would go like every Thursday or Saturday when there was industrial night. You like go to the dance club and we're doing the whole
Oh, like the goth raves.
the goth raves, and like there would be
Cool.
Rammstein, there would be Depeche Mode,
Uh-huh.
there'd be Skinny Puppy and all that stuff. So like
Uh-huh.
the heavy like EBM music.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. That's a different emo scene than the one I was in. I was in more like the My Chemical Romance, Fall Out Boy.
Oh, okay.
Kind of like the, the black fringe and the
Black
black
Fringe,
eyeliner.
Why don't you understand me? Like the whiny, like on
Whiny, nasally, yeah.
like, today is just like every day, a pain of heart, needles in my eye.
I don't know if that's a real song or not.
I don't
That
know,
could
but
genuinely be a real song. I love that.
Sundays are the best.
I'm pretty sure that's a Simple Plan song.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Don't waste your time, I'm already dead. Mommy, daddy.
Oh, I'm feeling like I gotta dye my hair black again. I love that.
Oh well, like I used to have when I did have hair. Yeah, it was very flat. Like I had very fine hair before it fell out.
Oh.
So I had it like down to my shoulders, and I would dye it different colors. Like I had it gray probably for like a good year and a half.
Like dyed gray.
Yeah, well, it was black, and then I would bleach it, then dye it black, and it just faded to gray.
Oh wow, you must have dyed it a lot.
Yeah, well, maybe that's the reason why I don't have it anymore.
It could be. It could be. I only did mine one time.
Yeah.
But I didn't have the flat hair. I actually had really curly hair.
Yeah.
My hair was kind of like a sheep almost.
Okay.
I had the hair straighteners,
Yeah.
which I got mocked for a lot.
Yeah.
Like all emo kids, they have a little hair straightener pocket thing, pocket size.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I still have.
Yeah, well, these experiences, like it developed me into the person I am today, just everywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you probably still listen to some of the same music. if
Oh,
you're
yeah,
like-
yeah.
Like I am.
Oh, God. Like, before I do, like, a stand-up set, maybe, like, I'll just go through the whole library. It's everywhere.
The Rammstein?
Well, some Rammstein, Depeche Mode, The Cure, and...
I only know Rammstein from those ones.
Yeah.
That's like another level of emo, which I wasn't really into so much.
I like getting older. Like I'm worried about when I become like a grandfather, and our music, like Simple Plan, Rammstein, will be called the oldies, and like on
Ooh.
Du Hast, like just taught your grandchildren like listen to those oldie music
To
as
the
the
good
guys
old
like,
days.
Du hast mich, and like he's breathing fire out of a mask, like when that's oldies grandpa stuff.
Like, that's so retro. Look at that guy.
I'm like you're like. I'm from a generation where people were cutting each other, cutters.
Right.
Like, going, that's so retro, that's so old fashioned. I'm like, going, God damn.
Do you think your grandkids are going to be into Rammstein and My Chemical Romance
I
at
don't
all?
know.
I can't imagine it's good kids' music.
Uh,
I mean, I never liked my grandma's music, so
my niece and nephew are starting to get into like Taylor Swift, and
yeah.
I hopefully they don't get into the sound pop kind of shitty hip hop.
like very generic stuff. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I think I do have a few nephews and nieces. They're all still in like the Peppa Pig phase, so it's a lot of Peppa Pig music. That song goes through my head kind of 10 times a day.
Oh God.
The
I didn't even know like about Baby Shark until like maybe a year and a half.
Its song is driving me
until it
crazy.
started breaking records. I'm like, oh, dang. But it was like it's Korean. Dang, dang.
Oh, I didn't know there was a Korean version.
Yeah, no, it's like the company that the people that made it, that was actually a Korean like educational company.
Oh, is there a Korean version in the Korean language?
They started off as like an English song, but then I think from English, then they changed it to Korean. But there's one, I guess it was like an English teacher that was in South Korea that recorded it, but didn't get credit. He just got paid $200 to write the song.
Yeah.
And then the company kind of like ripped them off and kept all the profits.
Oh, made millions, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
all billions.
Oh,
But-
it's so frustrating.
Actually, here's a question. So a lot of the people I've interviewed so far, when they actually didn't come to Korea to be performers naturally. They first were English teachers, and then from that's how they got into the entertainment. How did you? What was your gateway?
Ooh, so I came here from the start. I knew I wanted to do the acting and modeling.
Yeah.
And it was because I had done it already in England.
Okay.
But just I was part-time because
Yeah.
in England, there's so much competition.
Yeah.
So you go to 100 castings, you might get one job.
Yeah.
So, but I got into it in England through gymnastics.
Mm-hmm.
So I was told when I was doing gymnastics, I was told, you can use this to do commercials. You can, you can do a backflip for a commercial. You can do a handstand for a commercial. But then, I started to do that and I thought, this is really cool. I love this. I want to keep doing this.
Yeah.
And then just by chance, I was traveling around the world. I came to Korea and I loved it. I thought this is so cool. The people here are so nice. And there's so many modeling jobs here.
Yeah.
So I might as well just quit my job in England, quit everything, sell everything and come here and do full time.
Wow. That's an interesting story.
Yeah, it's a different way to get into it.
It's definitely the competition here is much different. But back home, if you went, actors, if they go to a rehearsal or they go to audition, it's a room full of guys that look almost identical to you. While here, they just cast a wide net and see what sticks.
Pretty much, yeah. Here, there's most of the time not even auditions.
Yeah.
You'll get a message, and then 10 minutes later, you'll say, "Oh, you're confirmed for this," which is great. Because I know all the castings I went to in London, you can tell by the time you go in, they've already chosen someone. They're just seeing you as a formality because you came all this way.
Yeah.
They kind of don't even look up from the clipboard. You just you do your thing.
They have their top five, and unless you're going to blow their minds, you're not really going to.
You're just there to make the numbers.
Yeah.
Which is kind of depressing. You end up you break even if you get a good job once a month. You break even with the money you're spending to go to the auditions.
Yeah.
But too much stress.
Well, I have aspirations even go to the States and seeing that, but it's just I'm just going to be a chubby white guy with a beard, and there's 100 of those that are probably more skilled than me. What do I do? What do I do?
That is the fear. I kind of have the same feeling. I'd like to go to the US as well. I'd like to move to to LA where it's entertainment central. But the same doubts kind of.
I think it's changing a lot with the whole on-demand internet stations like Netflix and Amazon Prime and the Disney Plus. They're moving out of LA. LA is only if you want to do basic television, that's where, or movies, but all these other on-demand websites. Netflix I think built a new studio in Arizona because it's in the past, always in the past it's been New York or LA, but these two states are one of the highest tax states. So it's very hard for actors to live there because the rent is very high and the state taxes, and also new places that they want to build, they have to for them to have a studio, they have to pay more taxes. So that's why Netflix is building outside of there. It's Arizona and New Mexico, a state one of these smaller states that has less of a state tax.
Ooh. I'd be happy. I did live in New Mexico for a short while for university. My university was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine that, there's tons of space. The whole place was just desert.
Yeah, any Marvel movie or superhero movie or superhero show, they're all filmed in Canada. So it's if it's a forest thing, then it's in Vancouver. If it's a city place, it's more a Toronto area. And if it's one of those green screen stages, it's filmed in Montreal because we have there's benefits to bring up all that. So
for sure.
On Netflix, Umbrella Academy was filmed in Toronto. On Amazon, The Boys is filmed in Toronto. All the superhero stuff. In the DC universe, Toronto is actually Gotham City.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you can see that in Suicide Squad and Batman versus Superman.
Oh, that's cool. I wish they filmed more stuff in Korea.
Well, they're starting. Well, there's the wave.
I don't know that.
The Korean wave, the Haru wave.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you meant it was the name of the movie.
I think with the popularity of Squid Games, now it's become more of Korea's more of an international stage. The Korean government made a deal with Marvel, so Seoul and Busan were filmed in two of the Korean movies.
Black Panther? Was it
Black Panther 1, was in Busan, and then Age of Ultron, Avengers 2, Age of Ultron was filmed in Seoul.
Oh, I have not seen that. I don't know much about Marvel, actually.
Yeah.
I've seen the big ones. I've
Yeah.
seen one of the Avengers. I've seen one of the Spider-Mans. It's
Oh,
pretty
geez.
much all I
Oh,
know.
You got to do your research, bud.
I gotta do it, but I heard there's like 30 movies to catch up on. It's
Yeah.
it's a big time commitment in my life.
Oh, yeah. That's probably something. Do it over the holidays when everything's.
I could do one a day. Yeah.
But I think they're up to like 30 movies now.
Oh hell, I'll think about it.
Yeah.
I might give it a miss.
Yeah. But yeah, even with going back to that, like with the whole like Korean wave and the popularity of South Korea growing, there was even like it was a spin-off of another Netflix movie, like I think it's like called like PS XOX Kitty. That was filmed earlier this year in Seoul. It's basically about a girl that travels all across, like travels from America to Korea to like chase her down her boyfriend. And so it was like it's an American production. It's like probably a 10-episode series, but it's so corny.
So corny? Were you part of it? Were you part of the
I
production?
was there. There was a lot of the people I know that got cast because it was like more like a high school drama, love story. But I was there the first day when they were filming at Incheon Airport when she's arriving, and the first line was like, it's like, oh, and she goes, oh, I'm going to Korea, and then the attendant's like behind the counter, is like, and he's like, you're here alone, and like, oh yeah. It's like, yes, I'm going. It's my first time ever being on an airplane. It's like, yes. Oh, yes, it says you're going directly to Seoul. He's going, does it also say I'm also going there for love?
Oh,
and I'm like,
vomit.
Ugh. I'm like, I didn't know, to vomit or snicker. I'm like, that's such a cheesy line.
That's awful. It's awful. Yeah. If you were working as an airline hostess and someone asked you that question, airline host.
Yeah.
And someone asks you that question, how would you react in real life?
Yes, it says that. Yeah, one seat. It says here. Yes, you're here for what? You're there. One direct flight. Like, does it also say I'm going there for love? I'm like, first off, you're a 17-year-old girl. Where like this doesn't even make sense. Like, where is this girl's parents?
Right. Yeah. Is she running away? Like, what is the nature of this? Yeah. It's a little creepy.
It's a little
creepy. Is the guy
creepy.
catfish? Is he 50 years old?
What I know about the story, like the story was written by a Korean American, and I guess it's a love story or love drama, blah blah blah. But the person did no research into it, into actually the content. Like she was going to Korea to study Korean, but I've actually gone to the Korean academies. They don't let 17-year-olds or 18. You have to be over 21.
Oh, really?
20 or something like that. Yeah, because it's a university course. And,
that does seem strange. They would stop you learning a language because you're too young.
Yeah, the language academies, the good ones are all university courses. So you have to have your high school graduation certificate or diploma to actually go there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know they didn't do that much research for that kind of thing. The cheesiness of those dramas is really what puts me off.
Yeah.
Any kind of Korean drama I've seen with a love story, it's unwatchable, honestly.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I can't even stand them. Like these days, the stories, it's gonna get me in trouble. But the stories, there's no research, and it's just crammed together. Going back to that movie Carter. Did you watch that whole thing?
Oh, I watched it just to see all the people we know.
Yeah.
It was fun seeing faces and saying, I know that guy. The naked upside down guy, that's my boy.
Yeah.
But I turned it off halfway through, honestly. Yeah. It was not so good.
It had a lot of faults in it. Like the camera work, their expectations were much higher than actually the final result.
I think so.
And the story was just... it was just pieced together like a high school kid or a little child wrote it.
It was messy. It was very messy, and I like the idea of the kind of one shot for the whole movie.
Yeah,
but you could see the cuts so easily. It lost the illusion so many times.
Yeah, they because they were going. It's supposed to be one continual like cut or make it look at, but they were switching between different cameras and sometimes, and they were using like drones, and even like you could tell that there were some shots that they didn't really film right, and they did a bad job in post edit. There's like a one scene where he's going from one building to another, and he fires a grappling hook, and they have like, a stunt person do the cross building, and then suddenly there's a solar flare, like a flash of light, and then suddenly it becomes the main actor again, and like, oh, that's so bad. That's elementary school. That's high school AV club. It's editing.
Yeah. I think it was. I had just watched Birdman recently, which has almost exactly the same kind of, the one-shot concept.
Yeah, like the Michael Keaton one?
The Michael Keaton one, which is so good. And I was also thinking about 1917,
the
other one-shot, the old World War II movie, which is so good. And then I was kind of comparing it to those ones, and it kind of sucked in that comparison.
Yeah, it's how I think they also ran out of a lot of money there, too. They cast a lot of foreigners from Korea. But then there was one interrogation torture scene, and I recognized zero of the faces. I think maybe what happened is they went overseas to get it, because the guy kind of looked like almost like the main interrogator looked kind of like a Hollywood actor.
He had a vibe.
He had the vibe and he had the lines, but I'm like, oh, I didn't recognize that. And then this was all during the pandemic when the procedures were at its highest, so they probably went there and they probably went way over budget, and then so they didn't have much money left in the post edit. The half naked scene I'm in, I think I've said this, like they were supposed to like CGI like penises on us, but they ran out of money. Halfway through the whole CGI, like everyone's wearing flesh colored thongs, tea panties. But they erased some of the backs of some of the Korean gangsters in that fight scene. So you'll see just a bare naked ass with no underwear line, and the person just gets stabbed and then turns around and he's finally wearing underwear.
Oh, I did not notice any of that.
I was in that scene, so I knew what to pay attention to. And they just they just changed the color of the main actor's underwear from flesh tone to military green.
Wow. Okay. Actually, you hadn't mentioned the CGI penis thing before. That's really interesting.
I would do that bit on stage about they're going to CGI a penis on me. I'm like, I was just like, please let it be a black one. Please let it be a black one. Don't make it a little red rocket.
Man, yeah, if you could choose, that'd be great. I've heard they use prosthetics as well. You can get a kind of like a stick-on one that you stick on top of the real one.
I think, because this is Korea and something similar probably in Japan too. Like Korea, they're not allowed to actually physically record it, like have people's genitals showing, so it has to be covered up. Like, so even the small Korean porno market, they're just topless and they're wearing underwear.
Yeah, I think I've been asked by agencies to do that kind of thing before. And that's the type of video they send me to reference.
I have it saved in my phone right there. But I got that cringy message like, we want to shoot you with three sexy models. It's not real porno, no sex.
Oh wow,
you wear underwear, okay?
Wow, that's different to the one I got. Yours sounds much better, actually. 3 of them? Damn.
Yeah, 3. And I just like, nah.
Is it was the pay worth it?
I didn't even ask the money. I like, nah, I'm not doing a skin flick and all that stuff.
Skin flick.
I've already disappointed my parents back home enough.
Oh, absolutely. That was one of the things my parents said to me when I came to Korea was, don't do porn.
Yeah.
Just don't do that. Do anything you want to do, but don't do porn.
Yeah.
But the time I got asked, the money was absolutely not worth it. It was less than you'd make in a couple of hours at a normal shoot.
Yeah.
And the reference was exactly like you said. It was 2 people kind of grinding with their underwear on. It was...
Yeah, in a noribang, in a singing room too. Or was that the video?
It was somewhere uncomfortable. Yeah. Definitely. It was not a nice, normal scene.
The porn industry here is just, it's a joke.
It's bizarre. Underground.
I remember my first year, with my girlfriend, she's like, we went to she went to a movie rental place, and she's like, I rented a Korean porno, and it was basically It was just the guy wearing cheap superhero costumes, and then the first scene was the guy in a Batman costume, and then the girl going, "Oh, Batman, stop! Hachima, Batman, stop!" And then the second scene was the same guy, but now in a cheap Spider-Man, and the girl's like, "Don't do that, Spider-Man! Don't touch me! Ah, Hachima, ande, Spider-Man, ande."
Ande. That's so... And was there any nudity involved? Like, was that
just
the end of it?
just topless stuff.
That's it.
Yeah. And
Wow. Okay.
and maybe some grinding, but that's about it.
I didn't know those were available at the movie rooms. I thought it was just movies.
Well, like we rented it from a movie rental place, so
Oh.
it was a DVD.
Oh, I thought you mean the DVD room.
No,
So you had a private
no,
room,
we didn't.
sex
No.
room.
It was there was like a movie rental place, so there was a DVD.
Oh.
There are like the channels exist on Korean digital cable, but it's still that level of quality.
Oh yeah, that's old school though. I think
Yeah.
I've never rented an actual physical porn
Yeah.
before. It's always online. I've never seen a DVD.
I guess the video that the guy was casting us for, it's actually like a small like Korean porno production thing, not just like a OnlyFans.
It looked kind of professional.
Yeah.
but it was uncomfortable.
It seemed like they had 2 cameras at least and some lighting, and not just someone recording on a phone.
I hope so. I really hope so. I guessed it would have been him. The agency guy would have been there.
Anyways, yeah, guys, don't do that. The money's not worth it.
It was.
Yeah. Well. Before we go, like, is there anything you like to talk about? Like, what was your best thing? What was your best role? Getting back to the whole idea, like, of telling people, what's the best role?
The best role,
Yeah.
the best type of role, or the
Yeah,
best
like
thing I've done?
the best shoot you were ever on, like character or whatever.
Ooh, I think apart from the Soju one, where I
Yeah.
got to get painted, it
Yeah.
would be any of the shoots where I get to do gymnastics.
Yeah.
So the best one I had was years and years ago. It was a Samsung thing where I got to do a lot of flips,
Yeah.
which was something I was really pushing for so hard at the time.
Yeah.
And they basically built this whole environment for me, this big, colorful environment with obstacles and ledges and crash mats. And the first hour or two was just, they said, just go wild. Just do whatever you want. Plan some flips, plan some combos, like whatever you want, and then we'll figure out the camera angles after.
Yeah.
That was
Okay.
the best one I ever
So
did.
as you were practicing, they were figuring out how they're going to film you.
Yeah.
Instead of vice versa. So you're just giving carpe diem, like what.
Right. I had a lot of creative control.
Carte blanche. You can do whatever you wanted, and then they'll figure out. They'll find what they want.
Yeah, man, I had complete creative control.
Yeah.
It was incredible. And they had a big, like a robotic arm with a camera on the end of it.
Oh, those are scary.
Kind of scary, yeah. It's really noisy. So,
Yeah.
like, I'm mid-flip and I hear the thing, like, and it terrifies me. But you got to keep your face in the right shape, even when you're mid-air. You got to pose your face a little.
Yeah, oh, those. I've been on a couple sets with those, and they have to program it, which takes like 30 minutes for a half a second of movement. But then like going, okay, ready, action, and then you just hear this robotic voice go 3, 2, 1.
Ooh, I forgot about the voice. Yeah, it was terrifying.
Yeah.
But that was definitely the best one, the most exciting. I like having a little more control like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, anything where I get to take my clothes off. I love that. Anywhere, underwear shoots or body painting, like any of that stuff. Just whip it off.
I guess we're 2 peas in a pod, because anything
Right.
I'm just the other side of the spectrum. I'm more the diversity hire, like on the model that shouldn't be taking his clothes off, but
No, man, people want to see.
affirmative action, more the affirmative action of a underwear model.
No, man, there's a niche for everyone. Everyone gets to take their clothes off sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I only got the boys chirping in my DMs.
The boys.
Oh, the boys. Oh, I
man.
love you. Oh my God.
You got the bear style, you got like the kind of hairy with the beard and everything.
I had to take like hashtag beard, hashtag suyum, like mustache beard for in Korean off, because there was just too much the blowback. Like, there was just too many guys in my Instagram going, hi, and they were just some creep.
Oh, wow.
Dick pics are not good, no matter the gender.
Damn.
Yeah, I got that. Yeah. So
All right.
So your lack of facial hair is a blessing, but even too.
It's serving a purpose.
Yeah.
I can't say I've had many dick pics come through.
Ah, okay.
A couple.
Okay.
But
Well,
yeah, but
well, thank you, Stefan, once again for joining me on Rice Camera Action. I hope to have you back in, and you got some more better stories. Bye,
Yeah.
everyone.
bye-bye.